You know, one of the good things of being a Ravens fan is during the draft season, I always know my boys are going to pull it off. Say what you want about the franchise, when it comes to the draft, the Ravens always know how to pick great players. There aren't a whole lot of organizations that can stand there and say that the first two players they picked in the draft ended up being first ballot Hall of Famers. The mindset of best player available started right then and there in 1996. And it started with Ozzie Newsome sticking to his guns, not listening to the noise, and selecting Jonathan Ogden. Even though there were some people within the organization, including the owner Art Modell, who wanted to select Lawrence Phillips, star running back from Nebraska, Ozzie Newsome stood his ground, and as they say, the rest is history. And then 22 picks later, Ozzie Newsome went and selected the greatest middle linebacker to ever play the game, Ray Lewis. J.O. will go on to become a 4-time first-team All-Pro, 5-team second All-Pro, 11-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl champion, and Ray Lewis became a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 7-time first-team All-Pro, 3 times second-team All-Pro, 13-time Pro Bowler, and a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Now, you might be asking yourself, like, what am I talking about this for? What's the point of this, bringing this up? Well, fast forward to the 2022 NFL Draft. Ravens GM Eric DeCosta hit pay dirt 2 more times. And it's not just that he did it, it's how he did it. Now, when the night first started, the Ravens had 1 draft pick in the first round. That was at number 14. And, you know, we always have certain Ravens fans every year, all year, talking about, get a cornerback, draft a receiver. We need the guy, get a cornerback, receiver.
Yes, I am. Wrong.
And with Eric DeCosta learning from the Wiz, he sat back, was patient, and let his cards fall into place.
That's all part of the plan.
And while I was watching the draft, there was this one guy that I couldn't help but notice kept falling down, and I heard he had a bad combine, and folks weren't really that impressed with him, not to mention the fact that he was a safety. But to me, I didn't see it. I couldn't believe that he would fall that low. But sure enough, Kyle Hamilton fell to the Ravens. And with the 14th pick, number 14 for Notre Dame became number 14 for the Ravens. And you know what? My feelings weren't hurt. I wasn't mad one bit. I'm seeing people, they were saying, safeties usually don't get taken that high in the NFL draft, especially in the first round. But I really want to know what these guys were looking at. Like, I heard they were saying that his speed at the combine wasn't that impressive. He didn't look all that explosive. But I'm like, I've always felt there's combine speed and then there's football speed. And then looking at the tape at Kyle Hamilton, that boy had football speed. I could still see one play while he was in Notre Dame in college where he was on complete opposite end of the field and then ran all the way to the other side, made a pick. And I'm like, seriously?
And I looked at him like, yo.
This guy, y'all don't think this guy's worth it?
In the first half, Stroud rolls, throws, it is picked! Kyle Hamilton!
Needless to say, that pick worked out just fine. Kyle Hamilton, here we are. He's now a 2-time Pro Bowler, got a first-team All-Pro under his belt, and is arguably one of the best safeties in the NFL as we speak today. This boy lines up all over the field. He gets sacks, interceptions, tackles for loss, fumbles, you name it. This boy can do it. He is literally the Swiss Army knife on the defensive side of the ball for the Baltimore Ravens. And I know you're looking at this and you're hearing this and you're thinking, well, it couldn't possibly get any better than this, right? The 2022 NFL draft couldn't have possibly gotten any better for the Ravens, right?
Wrong.
Washington Commanders have chosen. We're about to get the pick, but Hollywood Brown has just been traded by the Ravens and a 3rd-round pick in this year's draft to Arizona.
Turns out while us Ravens fans were getting ready, to get ready for the next day of work, like, all right, we saw who we needed to see. We're going to go ahead and take care of them. We get an update. An update came across the board, and that update said, now, Eric DeCosta said that this was a hard trade, hard move for him to make. But seeing as how Hollywood Brown wanted to be traded from the Ravens anyway, when I heard that we traded him to the Cardinals, I just sat back and said,
bye, Felicia.
So, yeah, we go ahead and we trade with the Cardinals for Hollywood Brown and a 3rd-round pick. Then we trade the 23rd pick to the Buffalo Bills for their 25th pick, as well as a 4th round pick. Pick 130 to be exact. And with the 25th pick, the Baltimore Ravens select
Tyler Lindenbaum, center, Iowa.
Hot damn!
Man, I tell you, when I dang near jumped out of my chair when that name came across the board, I had studied Tyler Lindenbaum that year in the draft. I was hoping the Ravens would get him. I didn't think we would. I didn't think we would trade back into the first round to get him after we got Kyle. Like I said, I thought we were done. I thought we got our guy and we were going to move on. And then we jump back in the first round and get Tyler Lindenbaum, the best center in the entire draft that year, with a little bit of history of wrestling in his background as well, and was coming out of the same school as Ravens great Marshall Yonder. And speaking of Marshall Yonder, congratulations to him and to Terrell Suggs becoming finalists to the NFL Hall of Fame. Praying both of you guys go at the same time. That would be insanely cool. Got my fingers crossed for you guys. I'm going to throw up a prayer. Let's get 2 more Ravens up in the Hall, man.
Let's go!
But this is what I'm talking about with the Ravens. This is what I talk about when it comes to the draft. We never know what these guys are going to do, and when they do something, it blows your mind. Like I said, I shed no tears when we lost Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals. It is what it is. Wish that guy the best of luck in his NFL career. But we basically traded him for Tyler Lindenbaum, who is now a 2-time Pro Bowler. And I assure you, he ain't that far from a first-team All-Pro. And with that 4th round pick, we ended up getting Jordan Stout, new punter taking the place of Sam Cook, who just so happens to be his coach.
That boy is good.
Do you see it? Do you see what I'm saying? You see the finesse of Eric DeCosta and the Baltimore Ravens organization when it comes to drafting? I mean, it's a great time. It's an awesome time, especially when you get two steals like this. Both these guys ended up being perfect picks for Baltimore, and I am so glad that they're Ravens. And the best part about it is, both of them are just getting started. And there's no doubt in my mind that both of these guys are going to be Ravens for a very, very long time.
Thank you for watching this video. By all means, like, share, and leave a comment. And if you want to see more content, go ahead and push the subscribe and notification button for videos already up and for the ones to come.